I know that not everyone is ready for this message, but a lot of you will be, and I'm so excited to dive into this. I tried to make this video the other day. Okay, that was confirmation because my camera just died, but I tried to make this video the other day, and then the SD card, it just like the videos didn't work to open after. And so I think that that means that this is a very potent message and that there's a lot of energy behind this and that you guys are probably experiencing right now. And so I started doing my sleep hypnosis 2 weeks ago, I think, and I started experiencing these symptoms very significantly. But also, I think that it matches up perfectly. If you want to sign up, it's $29 right now, linked in my bio. It's the most profound, or in the description, it's the most profound subconscious work that I've ever done. And I'm so excited about it. I think that this is absolutely groundbreaking, and like this is just the beginning. And so I started doing this, but also at the same time as like this great awakening that's happening here on Earth. And so the energies are very intense. We have the 3-Eye Atlas, which is like, as soon as I posted that 3-Eye Atlas meditation into the sun, like to receive the upgrade video on for a meditation, as soon as I did that myself that day, then I started getting these Ascension symptoms. So we'll start there. So you might be experiencing weird sensations and symptoms. And it really started happening as soon as I went into this void here in Ireland on my family farm here, and my van broke down and held me here and like was like, you're gonna hatch here in quantum leap. And so in this void, in this time, in this great awakening here on Earth, and in the sleep hypnosis time, it's been catapulting me into a new timeline where I've experienced, and you guys probably have too, or like maybe not, and maybe you're like one of the really lucky ones who gets to skip this part, because I also think that you can do that too. I was like very clear with the universe this morning. I was like, I choose to not have to feel physical symptoms, but you want to keep it positive. So I was like, I choose that I feel super healthy and vibrant and vital during all the shifts as I move into the new timeline. Thank you. And so it is. And so it's the same thing as like when technology is glitching, you can say like, as soon as I launched this sleep hypnosis, then I started having issues loading it, or people had issues with the videos loading. And so I was like, there was actually an internet crash that day that I launched the sale, where I guess 60% of the internet just wasn't working, like a software stopped working, which was really interesting as well. And so I think that a lot of people are waking up, and then we're also going through these technology shifts where things are going to start not working as well. And so setting the intention, I choose that technology works as I go through these upgrades. So maybe you're feeling that like physically, and that is like a huge sign that, especially if you're an Irish monk and you don't see anybody and you're getting sick, that's a good sign. But if you're not around a lot of people, or if you don't normally get sick, or you don't normally get these symptoms, then that is such a telltale. Because what I experienced when I was here, when I first got here, it was like heart palpitations, it was insomnia, it was waking up in the middle of the night. And like one night, one of the first nights that I got here on the farm, broke down here on the farm, I woke up and I was like, why am I up? It's 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. And my guides are like, you have to be awake for this download. And I was like, damn. Okay. And so that's one thing. The other thing that I think is the most profound, and some of you have said that you've been feeling this already with the sleep hypnosis, but also just like as the timeline is shifting and as we're going through the Great Awakening and as we're moving into this new Earth and the timeline split and everything, is that you're feeling like an alien in your timeline, in your reality. So what happens as you start to shift and like you start to ascend, like your energy changes, your field changes. First, you change. You energetically change. Your vibration changes. And then the world, the universe responds to that, because you're the point of attraction. So when you shift your field, you shift matter. And so then you shift your energy, and then you're like this newborn chicken and you're just like la and waiting for the world to respond. And so that's one thing. It's like you're feeling like an alien in your reality. And what's interesting about that time is that only you are experiencing that. And so Abraham Hicks talks about this too, is like a lot of people will try and try and like make sense of what you're going through. Like they would probably feel it on some level. And so then they'll be like, so how's your business going? How's your manifestations going? How's your love life going? And like not always intentionally trying to hurt or harm, but it is in a way like trying to bring you back into the old paradigm or the old timeline before you became an alien. And all you have to do in that is stay in your energy and stay so certain. But what I've experienced myself, and what I feel that a lot of you guys are experiencing, is that your level of doubt is probably so much lower than ever before. And so when those happen, and when those situations and those conversations and those manifestations of lack and worry and fear and guilt and shame and doubt happen, that you're able to remain in your sovereignty in those conversations, in those situations, and be like, no, this is an illusion. This is an illusion. Like, it's like unwavering. You're an unwavering alien, and I'm so damn proud of you. And so that's another thing. And then another thing is what we kind of touched on it, but like the glitchiness of technology. But not only that, I really have been noticing like shape-shifting, noticing glitching in how things are. I talked about this in a video recently, and so it was like I lost all my jackets like when it started getting cold here in Ireland, and I lost my rain jacket, I lost my warm jacket, I lost my sweatshirt, and I was like to layer. I was like these, and I don't have many jackets because when doing van life, and so I was like, where are they? I asked the family friends who have helped me with laundry. They're like, no, we don't do that. There's no laundry machine here at our house on this farm. And so I was like, that makes no sense. And we checked everywhere. I looked all throughout my glamping tent, through my van. I was like, I don't have it. I remember putting it in there. They're like, we've checked the closets, we've checked the guest rooms, and then they checked again after, probably 1 or 2 weeks of this. And then as soon as I started doing the sleep hypnosis, they're like, you'll never believe it. In the same exact place in the closet that we've checked over and over and over and over, it's right there. And that's been happening a lot for me. I was like looking for my hair tie the other day, looking everywhere. And then I looked down at a place that it was the most exposed place on my bed. It was like just the sheets. And then I looked there and I was like, I would have seen it right there. And so it's kind of like that. Like reality is really glitching like that. And what I really, really love, and this is a little bit off topic, but at the same time, I think it's tied, and that's why it's coming through right now. So on the topic of glitching realities, how do I navigate this? There's so much to it. Okay, so what I was kind of being shown last night as I was doing like a journaling manifestation exercise is that reality is an illusion, and I'll go into this so that it makes more sense. So I've watched a video of Dolores Cannon talking about asking the universe for what you want. Pretty much she was saying that what she has discovered in her work of hypnosis and the messages that have come through her clients is that the universe really does want you to ask for what you want, but it has to be so that it doesn't harm someone else and influence them in a negative way. And you have to be very specific. And so her examples were that when she had a client wanting to find love, she made a list of everything that she wanted in a man. These birds are so loud. Maybe ravens are a sign for you. I think they're ravens or crows. There's so many right now. And so she got very specific on her man, what she wanted, but she left out that she wanted him to be single. So he showed up, but he was married. And then she got really specific on the guy, and then she manifested him, but he was 10 years younger. And so she was like, this is fine, and ended up staying with him, is what Dolores Cannon said. But that kind of catapulted me into an exercise that I did with myself last night. And so I got so specific, like more specific than I ever have on business, on love, and on my home that I'm manifesting. And I wrote down every detail, and there's even more that I'm sure that have actually been coming through today. Like I was like, somewhere quiet where I can record and not have dogs barking and like all these different noises in the background, which I know you guys have said is fine and you like it, and that it's nice and it makes you feel like you're here with me on farms, like either in Italy or in Ireland. But I don't know. I really want to make more meditations, and I think sometimes it's hard to do that. Or even my sound baths. Like, I don't even bother with the sound bowls right now because, like, not for recording, because there's so many interruptions. And so I would like to be somewhere in my home, in my dream home, that I'm manifesting, that I can feel and see, and it's just like so potent. But I will also have a room where it's like soundproof and I can create all these sound healings. And so getting super specific is very, very important. And I'll tell you this example. So when I was in California, I was talking with a friend, and we were talking about manifesting love. And so she's very type A, and like, yeah, very type A, and like so great. I love her. And she took the assignment very seriously. And so we talked about making a list of exactly what we want in a guy, getting photos and making like a vision board of exactly what we want them to look like, and witnessing it for each other. So like the book, The Power of Eight, I think, it talks about witnessing and how powerful it is. Like in the book, it talks about groups of 8 specifically being like very powerful. So if you have any manifestations that you want to have witnessed, go ahead and put them in the comments if you feel comfortable, and definitely engage with each other and witness, and just maybe say like, I witness, because it's so powerful and it really helps catapult your manifestations. But so we did that for each other. Like, let's witness it for each other. And so she, like, next day reported back, sent me her list of everything she wanted in a guy, sent me the photos, and I read it and I witnessed it, and I slacked and I didn't ever make mine. I didn't ever send her mine. And she, within that week, she met this guy who looked exactly like the photos that she sent. And like when he arrived, I had a party at my house, like a Christmas party, and they both came, and I met him there. When I was looking at him, I was probably like jaw to the ground. I was like, holy crap, he looks so much kind of like Jesus, but like he looks so much like the photos of what she had sent me. And I was like, wow, you're real. Like, this work is real. And of course I know it, but when things like this happen, like with the sleep hypnosis, and like when things are actually happening and the manifestations are becoming real and in the perceived reality, it will never not be amazing. Let it always be amazing and put you in awe, because that observation and that awareness activates your reticular activating system, and it allows you to create more and more and more of what you're noticing. So always notice, always be in awe. That's very powerful. And so, yeah, I was laughing about that today when I realized that, because I was like, I also didn't really feel like I was meant to meet my soulmate at that time. That's kind of why I didn't do that, because I had a feeling that I wanted to move to Europe and to travel and to do all this stuff. And so, yes, now I'm single and I'm in Ireland, and I'm more in a place, like, not quite yet, but I do feel soon that I am ready. Well, actually, maybe I am ready, because I wrote down all the things that I want about this soulmate of mine last night. But yeah, now I feel more is the time to call him in. And so getting very, very, very specific is very important. And what was coming through with that was, I was kind of asking myself, like, why did I have resistance to getting specific before? Like, I got specific, but I also like left the door open for a lot. And I'll give this example and then I'll come back to this. I always have to like bookmark my thoughts. It's doing these stream of consciousness videos is it's beautiful. But sometimes so much comes through at once that I want to talk about. So anyway, when I first was leaving to Europe, I did kind of make a little bit of a list. I didn't send it to her, I didn't send it to anybody, and it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't as specific as hers and as intentional as hers, I don't think. But mine was like, okay, I want to manifest an Australian guy with tattoos who's lived in Bali, who's, you know, blah, 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 this tall, I think 6'3", and all these things, tattoos, I think I said that. And I manifested him, and he was wonderful. He was so sweet, such a sweet guy, and we had a great time. But what I didn't feel was like that deep connection with him. Like it just wasn't there, and it maybe wasn't the right timing, but it just wasn't there. And so I left that part out. Like, I want to manifest the guy that I really feel like deeply connected to. And so I think it's very important to get super, 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 super specific. And my hesitation with it before was that I thought that if I was too specific, then what people would say to me is like, you can't be so picky. Like, I had a therapist friend who was like, you can't be so picky. Like, maybe he's not what you think he's going to be, and you should just like leave the door open for it to be anyone. And I have no opinions on like not doing that. If that's what feels right for you, do it, because I do have friends who've manifested guys who are exactly opposite of what they thought they wanted, and then they're great together. But for me, especially right now, I feel that it's very different than that. I feel that time and space are an illusion, they're not real. I feel like reality is an illusion, and I also have my knowing in the quantum field, and that there are infinite possibilities and infinite timelines and infinite nothing else. Infinite timelines, infinite possibilities. And so what I was thinking about, like when I was writing the details of my Italian villa that I really want to manifest, I was getting so specific, exactly where the pool is, exactly where the view is, exactly what the view is, exactly where the hot tub is, exactly where the long wooden bench is where I host my friends, exactly what's growing up the pillars, and exactly, exactly, like specific. The color of the tiles on the floor, the color of the walls, the color, like so specific. And then the little voice in my head was like, well, what if it doesn't exist and you're just wasting your time? And then the other part of me was like, no, because even if it doesn't exist right now, I can make it poof into reality, because that's how I feel reality is. And it's like that thing, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to hear it, did it really fall? And what the conclusion was, based off of some whatever science, you can look it up and correct me if you need to, if I'm wrong. But if you don't hear it, then it doesn't fall, is pretty much like what I understood of that. And so that's kind of like, nothing is really real out there, but at the same time, it is very real. But whatever you perceive is real. Whatever you observe is real. Whatever you hear and sense is real. And so creating something so specifically does not limit you from what you're going to get. It creates it, and it allows it to become real within the quantum field, within the infinite possibilities, and then to come into your perceived reality. So even if that house does not exist right now, it can. And I think it can poof and become real. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if that made sense. And so that was kind of my take on all of that. Sorry, my Ascension symptoms are acting up. I am quite sick right now. Like, I have this static noise in my ear, which I haven't had for a long time. I used to have it a lot with mast cell activation syndrome, but yeah, I have like this stuffiness and this pressure, and I was up till 4 a.m. just like insomnia. And so I'm definitely kind of going through physical updates, which is interesting. But so these are all the signs that you are shifting. And I think the topic of like getting really specific, I think that had to come through, because as you're shifting and as you're moving into the new timeline, and as you're in the void still, but you're like in the alien stage, like continue being specific and fine tuning exactly what you want. Because it's like her example to Dolores Cannon was that when you go to a restaurant, like you go to a burger shop and you order a burger, if you just walk up and you're like, I want a burger, they're gonna be like, here's a burger. Like, she wants a burger? And they're like, what burger? And they're like, oh, I don't know, just guess. And then they give you a burger, and then you're like, well, I don't like onions, I don't like pickles. And so it's like, if you don't ask, then the universe just has to like guess and fill in the blank with whatever is like the number one probability, or however the system works of deciding what you get. And so you get to co-create your reality. And what I think is also important to note is that as you clear the debris and you move more and more into this like superhuman version of yourself, where you're in that heart space and you're in the awareness and you're in the clarity and you're past the illusions, is that you will be manifesting quicker and quicker and quicker. So that's why I think that it's important that message came through in this message about like the signs that you are about to quantum leap into your wealthiest timeline. And like wealthiest as in financial freedom. Like, yes, you get to be a millionaire doing exactly what you love doing. I don't know that the monetary system is going to collapse so soon. Maybe it will. Maybe it becomes crypto or whatever, but there's still that concept of financial wealth. And so I don't think that there's anything negative about financial wealth. Like, I think that, which is so interesting. I don't really get it, but I know that it is a thing that people are like, I don't care about money. I don't need money. I don't need money to be happy. And I don't think you need money to be happy. I don't think that's the message at all when the topic is like this, like manifesting wealth. And I think that it allows you to just have that experience of having that freedom that it gives you. But yes, if you're living in a hut with nothing and you just live off the coconuts and the berries, like, you can find true happiness. And I think that's the most important thing to do, is that right now where you are, find the feelings of the things that you're trying to manifest. But I also think that it is okay to want and desire anything that you want and desire. Like, what was very healing to me at one point, when I was listening to like a podcast on astrology, or someone was talking about their astrology, was she was saying that part of her design is to really like luxury. And that like validated a part of myself, because yes, I do, like, I'm glamping right now. I'm in my van, I'm in my glamping tent, I'm living in the outdoors, I'm living on my farm, and like that all is part of me. But at the same time, I love getting dressed up. I love getting glam. I love luxury. I love country clubs. I just want to be, with a little sweater tied around my shoulders, with a little tennis skirt and like the racket over my shoulder. And I just want to be drinking a Celsius. Like, I do. I like Celsius. I know it's probably not the like highest whatever, but I enjoy that. And that was kind of like the life that I had at that country club that I was, but the gym I was going to in California, where I was living, is like the number one tennis court. I don't want to say in the world, but we did have like world championships there, and pickleball, and it was just like such a bougie gym community, and I freaking loved it. I loved it. I loved being around other people who were really successful and really driven. I loved all the really nice cars. I loved just like that abundance that was like flowing everywhere. And of course there's shadows and there's all these things that are still in that, but it just felt so abundant. And so there's a part of me who really, really loves that lifestyle as well. But for some reason, I had to like step away from that energy and that atmosphere to like come here, I guess, and be initiated and start my YouTube channel and like travel around and do all the things that I've done, and like be with the horses in Italy, and have you guys help me rescue the horses, and like go on this journey that has shaped me. But it's okay. That's what I'm saying. It's okay to want whatever the frick you want. And there's no shame. I don't think money's evil. I don't think any of that. I think that if you're watching this, if you're here with me right now, you are a really good person. Like, you are a very, very, very good person. You are innately good. You are innately kind and loving and generous, and you are here to make the world a better place. And just by taking care of yourself and having the financial freedom to just be stable and secure and at peace, that makes the world a better place. Just that alone. And then of course, whatever you do after that, whatever you put your energy towards, whatever you create, whatever it is, the passion that you're following, that also serves the world. But taking care of you and allowing yourself to be in the abundance and be in the freedom, that is the best thing that you can do for the world. And that allows you to be safe to be you, safe to be in your authenticity. And authenticity has been proven to be the most expansive frequency to others. So know that you are doing a very good thing by allowing yourself to have the financial freedom that you desire. And so you are on this journey, right? And you are almost about to experience it. Maybe you've seen signs that it's happening for you, that you're manifesting, little things here and there in your actual reality, where it's giving you the signs that you're about to step into your wealthiest, most free and healthiest timeline. But this is just like a little teaser. I feel that like in the next 3 months, really, that the collective that is watching this video, that is here with me right now, if you're in this energy and in this portal with me, then the next 3 months, like, everything is going to change. Like, your whole reality is going to change. The way that you get to live your life is going to change. But it's also going to be similar, because your energy is kind of already there, and so your reality just is catching up to that, which is so exciting to get to experience here in Earth School, in this reality that we get to perceive. And so remember all of this and take this with you if it resonates. Like, this is just an illusion. This is just an experience. You get to go home to the abundance and the truth and the love and the freedom that you truly are at the end of this. There are no wrong turns, and you are in the right place at the right time. And the pain that you're maybe feeling, the things that are falling apart, the places that you're having to surrender, the curveballs that you've experienced, those have all been to set you up for exactly where you are headed. And I feel that with the collective energy, with the Great Awakening, with the shifts here on Earth, with the timeline split, with the new Earth, with all that, plus all the work that you've been doing internally, all this is setting you up for a massive different experience here on Earth. I feel that the hard part is over, that you've worked through the shadows, that you have done what you needed to do karmically, and that you get to set yourself free now and feel what it feels like to be in ease and to be in security and to be in stability and to not have worries underlying every action that you take. Like, your actions now get to be from a place of heart-centered and a place of creation and a place of freedom and a place of ease and a place of that feminine energy, while also blending it with the level of masculine energy that is natural to you. So I love you guys so much. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so grateful to be here. This is my dream come true. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life, is making videos and learning and teaching. And so if you want to join me in my sleep hypnosis program, that is linked below. Truly profound. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited where it's headed to. I have already received so many downloads on what is next in regards to sleep hypnosis. So this is like I said in my last video, like the lightning bolt that happened in the void when I was like, why am I here? Why am I in this void? Why am I, why is no one able to fix my van? Why is it not working, like buying a car here? Why is it like so difficult to buy a car here? Why is Ireland so complicated about cars? And I was just like, I also know. I also knew. Also, update on that. I was gonna buy a car today. I was gonna go get a car, but I'm not gonna get it, I don't think. I'm gonna see what happens tomorrow. But insuring it was really tricky because my license is still US. I need to get it in Ireland. That was the plan, was to get an Irish driver's license, but I just haven't done it yet because my van hasn't been driving and nothing has gone to plan here. And so it's more difficult, like because of the year of the car that I was looking at, they wouldn't let me insure it with not having an Irish license. So I was like, oh crap. And so then I kind of was like feeling into it too, and someone that I had come look at the van most recently, they think that it's the release bearing, and as I've done research, the exact sequence of the lights that went on when I drove here are in alignment with the release bearing, and no one has ever said that before, but I think he's right. And so I think I'm going to go down that path of having him fix that, and that allows me to carry everything in my van rather than like a car, so I don't have to like leave anything here in Ireland. And then I'm hoping right now I'm hoping to go to a building, a home with walls and with a hot shower, endless shower. I think that like I would really like to be in a bathtub all winter long, but we'll see. We'll see what manifests. But I think that I am kind of craving like a fireplace and something cozy, and like maybe an Airbnb first that's close to the farm, but like not on the farm in Italy. We'll see. We shall see. The doors are opening. I'm being divinely guided, and everything is happening in perfect timing. So I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.